Hello class and welcome to the tutorial on how to find good primary sources that I would accept on uh, homework assignments, presentations, or papers you have to write. So first we're going to go over here what the definition of a primary resource is. As you can see here, uh, just from a simple Google search, we can see that a primary source is the original source of or evidence. It is something that is an artifact, a document, a diary, manuscript, autobiography, a recording, or any other source of information that was created at the time under study. What this means is that anything that was created at as it was happening, for example, if a World War II soldier wrote a letter to home, that would be considered a primary source because it came straight from the person who experienced the event. And to also know the counterpart to primary sources, I will also cover what a secondary source is. A secondary resource is, uh, as you can see from this definition on Google, it is information, one that was created later by someone who did not experience firsthand or participate in the events or conditions you're researching. For the purposes of a historical research project, secondary sources are generally scholarly books and articles. So a good example of this would be your textbook would be a secondary source because it is written from or is written by authors who were not alive to experience the events that they are writing about. Now, for where to find some good primary sources that you can use on your projects, and just a good site that will help you a lot throughout your career as a student. So the Library of Congress is the National Archives. What an archives is a building that holds only primary sources for their records. For example, if you want to look at NDSU, NDSU has its own, sorry, excuse me, the NDSU has its own archive where it holds primary sources that has to deal with the school's past, organizations from the school, and associated programs that the school either fundraised or started. So if we just go here to the Library of Congress homepage, you'll come to a page that looks like this. You can look at all their digital collections here, library catalog, what researchers are working on projects right now. But I want to show you is their search engine and what you can find just by a simple search on their website. So say we are covering World War I at the time, and I ask you to talk about the experience that a soldier might have on the battlefield. A good source that you could get, a good primary source that you could get for this assignment would be a letter from a soldier who wrote home during the war. So we just click the search bar here and simply type in World War One soldier letters and hit search. You can see there are quite a few resources that pop up right away. Some of these, as you can see, are blogs. This one's a video. A good one to find actual copies of letters would be like a collection. And here are some singular letters from soldiers that you can find. So let's just click on this one to see what it looks like. Wait for the computer to load here. Try to reload. Internet's a little buggy. There we go. And you can see here it gives a brief description of this item, gives the title, who wrote it, or who gave it to the archives, who made it, and just some headings that you will find in the resource. You can see what kind of languages it's written in. You can see when it was created. And let's see if you can actually go to the source on this one. Right here, the text that says PDF on it, let's click on that, see if it brings us to the source. While we're waiting for that to load, you might have noticed down here that there's a cite this item thing, and this gives you an easy way just to correctly cite your source, and it gives you the 3 main ways of styles for citing sources. So it makes it nice and easy for you to slap on there to make sure I know you're not making stuff up. I gotta see if this thing's finished loading. No, still got some time. If you look back here, while we're still waiting for that to load because it's taking a little longer than I expected. If you see something like a video, unless there are interviews in this video, or it was not created at the time, so say it's not actual film like from battles, but just recordings about with like pictures in the background and someone narrating the video, that would be considered a secondary source and not a primary source, just to make that clear. It's a secondary source because the people that aren't who are talking were not actually at the or in World War I, just to make that more clear. Let's see if this is finished loading. Okay, so these are the actual letters. It looks like this letter was a song that was given, or that soldiers sang. And here's the envelope that it was sent from. So from this you could see, for example, that soldiers really valued music, and that is a way that they coped with the gruesome reality of war. So that is just a quick demonstration on what primary sources are and where to find a good source of them. Again, this is the Library of Congress page. You can find it just from a simple Google search. And I hope this video helps with your research, and good luck.